As of continuation of the previous video, just you can apply this table column in this x-axis and y-axis. We will get this linear form. For example, if the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the arterial blood is 40 mm Hg, means here this is the partial pressure of PCO2 is 40 in the arterial blood, means oxygenated blood. This is the oxygenated blood. Here is 40 and this is 48 oxygen content. This is 48. So when you join it, the linear form is formed, and the same thing 45 to 52, the another linear form is formed. Then we want to see about factors affecting carbon dioxide dissociation curve. So before you want to know about the factors affecting CO2, first you want to know about the association of carbon dioxide. If the association of carbon dioxide in the blood take place, we call then the curve shift to left to take place. Whereas dissociation of carbon dioxide means the carbon dioxide dissociated from the blood and enter into the lungs. We call then the curve shift to right will be take place. This is shift to right and this is shift to left. Sorry, here this is shift to right and this is shift to left. Okay, association and dissociation. So first is oxygen. So based on the oxygen, deoxyhemoglobin, that is, you already know that deoxyhemoglobin is tissue capillary, means venous capillaries. So it contains no oxygen, means deoxygen. Hemoglobin has no oxygen. So the carbon dioxide from the tissue is easily entered and combined with hemoglobin. That is, loading of carbon dioxide will be take place. This we call as loading of carbon dioxide. Whereas in the lung, more amount of oxygen present in the alveoli. This alveoli enter into the pulmonary capillaries. It will be easily go and attach with hemoglobin. So from the hemoglobin, the carbon dioxide is released and enter into the lungs. This we call as carbon dioxide unloading. Thus we call as Halden's effect. So till now what you understand, you will see about the carbon dioxide dissociation curve based on the PCO2 and CO2. The major difference is only 5 mm Hg. That's why the linear curve is formed. Then we want to see about association, dissociation. Association means shift to left. Dissociation means shift to right. The first factors affecting is oxygen. In deoxyhemoglobin, in oxyhemoglobin, what happened? In deoxyhemoglobin, loading of carbon dioxide take place. In oxyhemoglobin, means oxygenation, means pulmonary capillary, the carbon dioxide unloading take place. That we call as Halden effects. Then we will see what is Halden effect. What is Halden effect? Oxygenation of hemoglobin in the lung increases the carbon dioxide unloading. Means oxygenation means oxygen go and bind with the hemoglobin in the lungs, in the alveoli. That will increases the carbon dioxide unloading from the pulmonary capillary. The carbon dioxide is unloaded and enter into the lungs, reaches the alveoli, and it will be excreted in the environment. That we call it as Halden effect. That the curve is shifted to right will be take place. Shift to right will be take place. This we call as Halden effect. This we call the shift to right, and this we call as Halden effect. The second one, increased diphosphoglycerate. So when the diphosphoglycerate is increases, once again the curve is shifted to right. That means what happened here also, the dissociation of carbon dioxide will be take place. Dissociation of carbon dioxide will be take place. That means when the carbon dioxide, you already know that carbon dioxide combined with hemoglobin. If the diphosphoglycerate is increases, that will compete with carbon dioxide and it will be attached more with hemoglobin. So the carbon dioxide will easily dissociated. Then when body temperature increases, this causes release of oxygen from the blood, whereas carbon dioxide association take place. So shift to left. Here the shift to left. So two conditions shift to right will be take place. One is increased diphosphoglycerate, another one is oxygen Halden's effect. And the only in body temperature the association of carbon dioxide take place, because the oxygen will be released from the blood. The carbon dioxide will be attached with the hemoglobin. So this is the last topic, that is third one is the release of carbon dioxide in the lung. So till now what we saw, first one is diffusion, second is transport of carbon dioxide. Now the carbon dioxide is transported from the tissue to the lungs with the help of these three important steps. Now the releasing will be take place. We already studied. So one is in dissolved form, the carbon dioxide will be present in the plasma or in the water. Okay, the second one is bicarbonate form. We already studied the bicarbonate form, means the carbon dioxide means bicarbonate presented here. Third one is carbamino form. So first we'll see here the carbamino form only will be dissociated. How it will be dissociated? So you already know that the alveolar PO2 is 104 mm Hg, whereas in the blood capillaries, the alveolar PO2 is lesser, so that is 40 mmHg. So the difference is 64. So that much transmit of oxygen from the alveoli to the blood capillary will be take place. So the oxygen from the alveoli, it reaches the RBC and it will be attached with the hemoglobin and release the carbon dioxide. See, this is the carbamino form. So that will be dissociated into, once the oxygen will be bind here, it will be dissociated to H plus HbO2, means hemoglobin bind with oxygen and releases the carbon dioxide. Now this carbon dioxide comes out. Second one. So this H plus will be present here, and the bicarbonate present in the plasma. Now this bicarbonate will be goes inside and chloride comes out. This we call it as reverse chloride shift. What is reverse chloride shift? Reverse chloride shift take place in the lungs, whereas chloride shift take place in the tissue. Reverse chloride shift means from the means the chloride from the RBC comes out into the plasma, whereas the bicarbonate from the plasma enter into the RBC, where it will be bind with H plus and form bicarbonic acid. It will be easily dissociate H2 and CO2. Now the CO2 comes here. So the CO2 here. So we already saw that the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the blood capillary is 45 mmHg, whereas the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the alveoli is 40 mmHg. Thus the difference of 5 mmHg the carbon dioxide is unloading. It will be enter into the alveoli and it will be excreted in the lungs. So these are the important concept of transport of carbon dioxide. As a summary, what are the things we studied? 3 subheadings: diffusion of carbon dioxide in the blood, diffusion, how the diffusion will be take place. The second, we studied about transport of carbon dioxide in the blood. So for diffusion of carbon dioxide, you want to know about the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in different region, then only you can usually understand. We will study that. Thus we summarize that transport of carbon dioxide is mainly take place by 3 heading: diffusion of carbon dioxide in the blood. For diffusion of carbon dioxide means you want to know about the concentration gradient, the concentration gradient of carbon dioxide in different region, then only you can understand easily how the diffusion will be take place by simple diffusion. And then the transport of carbon dioxide in the blood by 3 important steps: in dissolved form, bicarbonate form, carbamino compound form. In bicarbonate form, you want to write about chloride shift, and in transport of carbamino form in the plasma protein how it will be bind, and in the hemoglobin how it will bind, you want to write it. And chloride means carbon dioxide dissociation curve, you want to write it based on this table column. You want to put the linear form, and then factors affecting, in that you want to write about the oxygen. In that oxygen, the Halden's effect is very important, how the carbon dioxide unloading take place, and increased DPG, that also shift to right, only the shift to left take place with the help of the body temperature. Finally, how the carbon dioxide released in the lung. So the first step, you want to talk about the oxygen. Because of more amount of oxygen in the alveoli, it will be reaches and bind with hemoglobin. Thus the carbamino compound hemoglobin, the carbon dioxide will be released from the carbamino compound form, and that will be enter into the plasma. And also the second, you want to talk about the reverse chloride shift. Due to this, the bicarbonate goes inside, chloride comes out, and then it will be bicarbonic acid and carbon dioxide and water will be formed. This carbon dioxide comes to the plasma. Due to the pressure gradient, carbon dioxide will be unloading will be take place from the blood capillary to the alveoli. So thank you very much. If you have any question, please ask. Let I explain it in the next class. Thank you.